We'll call to order the regular board meeting of the Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Good morning. My name is Maricel Hernandez. I'm the chair, and with me today is Commissioner June Brown
Present.
and Commissioner William Cressy.
Also present.
Next item is a consideration of the agenda. Any proposed changes? If not, we will proceed with the approval of the board meeting minutes of June 10th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
And seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Next is our interim executive director's report. Mrs. Spera.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioner Brown, and Commissioner Cressy. I have recently returned from vacation, and staff is currently enjoying a bit of vacation time too. But as people return, I will continue to reviewing and addressing outstanding matters. Following the recent heat wave, I am planning another visit to the warehouse next week. I will be reviewing project timelines and identifying any potential challenges that may require attention on the 5th and 6th floors of 1819. The super site lease for 137 South State Street was reviewed and updated by our outside counsel and forwarded to the owners for review. As of today, we have no new updates for the city budget timeline, but I am making sure staff will be prepared with a draft for the commissioners' review before final submission. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. If there are no questions, I will now go to our Public Information Director, Max Bever. Good morning, Max.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just a few updates on our end. I know we have a busy agenda, and some of these items are already being discussed. Communications-wise, we are preparing for our citywide voter canvass. We are all ready to go with our first notice once we approve our vendor. That will be going out. We'll also be doing some publicity around that. We'll send out our usual press release and social media graphics to let people know what's coming in their mailboxes and what the purpose of this voter canvass is and why we do it every year rather than just the mandated 2 years. We also created new materials and flyers for our Community Services Department, as well as our community partners, including a new flyer on the upcoming offices on the ballot, as well as the upcoming election dates, QR codes, including new cards and other materials for our festivals throughout this summer, getting people registered to vote, as well as getting the message out about changing your address ahead of time, including ahead of the upcoming voter canvass. I know that there is upcoming election calendars as well as candidate guides that will be approved soon. As soon as those are, we'll make sure to get that message out. We know that there are some lingering questions about school board candidates, their filing period, and some of the other details. So as soon as that is finalized on our end, I know that that will be well appreciated once we get that information out. And a little later than I wanted, but we will have a draft of our voter forum wrap-up as well as our survey to share in the near future. Really interesting results, and I think a lot of good takeaways and feedback that we got directly from people. Took us a little bit of more hands-on time because we got a lot of direct feedback from people, but it was really interesting. We're going to put some of those responses into word clouds, as well as our survey questions. Hopefully this will be a good time for people to review, and we can make sure we get that to our city council as well as our state legislators, especially as they are reviewing additional election legislation later this year. I believe that is it for communications. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I may, thank you for the upcoming voter canvass, you know, the messaging as to the purpose that we do it, and because it's, you know, and getting the word out that this is all about ensuring the integrity of our voter rolls, and that we do it in Chicago every year, even though we only needed to do it every 2, but that's such an important item for us, and I think the voters need to know about it.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think it's been popular the last couple of times we've shown how the sausage is made, but it's also the reason why we have one of the cleanest rolls in the country, I think,
Okay.
especially for a major American city.
You can't hear me in the back?
If you folks are using a public address system, it seems as if it's off. I mean, with
Okay.
the airflow and everything, you really can't hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know if you turn the volume up or move the mics closer.
Unfortunately, the microphones are for our video. We don't have external.
We'll speak louder.
Louder.
We'll talk louder.
That
Can you hear me
better?
now? Can you hear me now?
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. No, this is really for the recording, not so much.
Gotcha.
Sorry to all out there not being able to hear my pearls of wisdom. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And now we will proceed with old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration, electronic poll books and voting equipment. Mrs. Spera, are there any updates at this time? Thank you. Legislation, Mr. Lasker.
There's still no indication that the General Assembly in Illinois is going to have a session prior to its standard veto session this fall. And also, the SAVE Act in Congress has still not had any movement whatsoever since April 10th when it was sent to the Senate. So that's my legislative report for today.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll proceed to new business. We have a few items to deal with. First is a contract renewal with No Inc. LLC for vote-by-mail fulfillment purposes, and we have Carolina Roman. And, well, let's see. We'll start off with Carolina. How are you?
I'm well. How are you all
Good.
doing?
Good.
Good morning. Okay, I'll try to make this as painless as possible for you all. Okay, so first one up, contract renewal with No Inc. LLC for our vote-by-mail ballot fulfillment. The procurement office is requesting your consideration and approval for a contract renewal with No Inc. LLC. The initial award was issued on November 28, 2023 via a request for proposal vote-by-mail ballot fulfillment for 2024 elections. The vendor has verbally agreed to extend the contract under all pre-existing pricing terms. This would be ideal as there is a risk for prices to increase if this bid were subject to new bidding procedures. The original agreement included an option to extend the contract through the 2026 election cycle. And because the board is in need of continued services, the procurement office is requesting to renew the original terms of the agreement under the same previously bid terms and conditions through December 31st, 2026. Please consider granting the contract renewal to No Inc. LLC.
Any questions?
Is this is a renewal, right? This is not an extension, right?
Yes.
I heard you say 11/23 or November of 2023, and it was a 2-year renewal?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And-
Is there, oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, and real quick, we've had really no major complaints with them from using them
No,
before.
I
They
mean,
were-
honestly, I've only had nothing but positive feedback with this vendor. So, I mean, they seem very interested in continuing to work with us.
Yes.
And, yeah, well, everyone that's worked with them has great feedback.
And I was, just say, I was at the Association of, the International Association of Government Officials Convention in Kansas City a couple weeks ago. They were there and talking to people around, everyone who's used them was also complimentary of them. So I think
Yeah.
it's a good relationship, a good fit for us. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion to renew the board's contract with No Inc. LLC for vote-by-mail fulfillment services for the 2026 elections at the rate set forth in the original contract and with a renewed durational term beginning July 8th, 2025 through December 31st, 2026?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
And seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is a contract extension and amendment with SKU Corporation for ongoing maintenance and support of the board's voter registration database and other computer systems. Carolina?
The procurement office is requesting your consideration and approval for a second amendment and extension to the current professional services agreement with SKU Corporation. On July 1st, 2023, the board approved and ratified an agreement with SKU Corporation to provide VRXG software maintenance and support. A second contract amendment will allow SKU Corporation to continue working on various services through 2027, which include enhancement tasks requested by Chicago Board of Election employees. The current agreement expired on June 30th, 2025, with the option to extend for up to 2 additional years, 1 year at a time. And we are requesting to extend the agreement with a durational term expiring at the conclusion of June 30th, 2027. In addition to the enhancement tasks, the contract extension would also include major ongoing maintenance and support related to the original scope of services awarded to SKU Corporation. In an effort to sustain comprehensive support, Mr. Jong Lee is respectfully requesting an increase in the monthly payment for his services from $28,175 to $34,000 monthly. The Procurement Office is requesting to extend the terms of the agreement with a durational term expiring at the conclusion of June 30th, 2027. Please consider approving an extension to the professional services agreement with SKU Corporation in the dollar amount not to exceed $816,000.
Okay, thank you.
And again, we've had good services provided
Yes.
by them.
I have heard nothing but great feedback about Mr. Lee, so.
Excellent, thank you.
Mr. Lee as well, but what are the enhancements that we are requiring? I see Mr. Hurd is here, so maybe that's him.
Oh.
Ah,
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Some of the enhancements that Ms. Lee is working on for us include enhancements to our early voting module, where we're working to improve our enhancements as far as hiring process, intake with timekeeping.
Could you speak up a little bit?
I'm sorry. We're enhancing our early voting modules, which in regards to hiring as well as timekeeping, separating the two and doing a kind of API to get the system more fluid and make it easier for people to join and go to our website and be able to be recruited.
Excellent.
Also, our vote by mail, we're doing enhancements on making it more user-friendly, hoping to use a API also with UPS, United States Postal Service, in order to get the addresses more standardized, and he's doing an integration of that into the system as well. Also, we're doing our updating vote by mail processes as far as on our end, making it more user-friendly in order to better track some of the questions asked by the state board, give us a better reporting as far as reporting to numbers as far as what was done, vote by mail, UOCAVA, all of those, and making that process easier as well.
Excellent.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to ratify and approve a contract extension with SKU Corporation for continued maintenance and support of the board's voter registration system with total compensation not to exceed $816,000 over the 24-month extended term, which shall begin on July 1st, 2025, and continue through June 30th, 2027?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a contract extension with Veritex LLC for court reporting and transcription services. Carolina?
The Procurement Office is requesting your consideration and approval to exercise the board's option to extend the terms of the current Veritex LLC contract to July 8th, 2028. On June 20th, 2024, the Procurement Office issued a request for proposal for court reporting and transcription services for the November 2024 general election. In response to the RFP, the Procurement Office received one proposal from Veritex LLC. The current agreement expires today, actually, and the option to extend for with the option to extend for an additional 36 months under the same terms and conditions as the original agreement. Board staff have been very highly satisfied with their services and performance. As such, the board is in need of their continued services in relation to the completion of its duties for the 2026 election cycle. The procurement office is requesting to extend the terms of the agreement with a durational term expiring at the conclusion of July 8, 2028. Please consider approving this contract extension with Veritext LLC.
Thank you. I think, yeah, we've all had experience with Veritext, and they're excellent.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve a 36-month extension to the board's contract with Veritext LLC for court reporting and transcription services with the extended term to begin on July 9, 2025 and continue through July 8, 2028?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
And Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. Next item is ratification of contract extensions for temp staffing services from several temp agencies. HB Staffing, LaSalle Network, Mack and Associates, Robert Half, Inc. for the central office, and Robert Half, Inc. for the warehouse. Ms. Roman.
The procurement office is requesting your consideration and approval for contract extensions for temporary staffing services with the following vendors:
Thank you.
HB Staffing, LaSalle Network, Mack and Associates, Robert Half for our central offices, and Robert Half for our warehouse. The board previously performed an RFP for temporary staffing services for the board's central office, headquarters, and the warehouse. Contracts were awarded to HB Staffing, LaSalle Network, Mack and Associates, and Robert Half for our central offices on April 27, 2022. Additionally, a contract to Robert Half for our warehouse was awarded on April 12, 2022. The board has been satisfied with the overall services rendered by all vendors. However, we may issue a new RFP in the coming weeks for the warehouse. Because the board is in need of continued services with respect to completion of its duties in relation to the 2026 midterm primary election, we are requesting authorization to extend contracts to all the vendors. The procurement office is requesting to extend the terms of the agreement to HB Staffing, LaSalle Network, Mack and Associates, and Robert Half for our central offices and warehouse with a durational term expiring at the conclusion of June 30th, 2026.
Okay. Any questions? Questions?
Yeah, it may be you, General Counsel Lasser, but in the original contract, there was an Appendix B. Was that amended to reflect changes in pricing and compliance issues?
I'm not aware of changes to the pricing, except for that the contract does call for any increases to
Minimum
minimum
age
wage. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's written in to the contract.
It's already in B? Because I looked at the original, I didn't see an addendum to it.
I'm not sure that it's in, I think it's in the
Because it was noted in
contract
B.
documents that are referenced in the.
Yes.
It's in.
Yeah, it
it's
is in the
some
contract that they
portion of
need
the
to-
contract.
And it's laid out about the compliance
Yeah,
issues?
yes.
For the workers, not just the company?
No, it's right, it's for their workers. They are contractually required by our contract
Mhm.
to increase the minimum wage anytime the specific index that it cites to goes up on minimum wage.
And so Appendix B, I am correct in that, what I saw in that, though.
At this moment, without it in front of me, I can't confirm that it's in Appendix B,
Uh-huh.
but I know that it's somewhere within the
Yes.
contract. It's within the actual bid document. So it's set forth as a requirement on our bid posting, which then becomes a reference document with binding terms inside the contract. It may exist elsewhere as well.
Well, if it's not in there explicitly, though, we would want to add that as an addendum?
I will circle
To-
back
to
after
ensure-
this meeting. We'll do an amendment to that if it's not in there, but I am fairly confident that it's in
Okay,
there.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to ratify and approve a one-year extensions to the board's individual contracts for central office temporary staffing services with HB Staffing, LaSalle Network, Mack and Associates, and Robert Half, also known as Protiviti, and for temporary staffing services at the warehouse with Robert Half, also known as Protiviti, with extended terms that shall commence on July 1st, 2025, and continue through June 30th, 2026.
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Quick question that Crescent usually asks. Are we satisfied with the services for all of these? Or I noticed you said that there may be a.
Yes, so
another
the
RFP.
warehouse is the only concern, the only one that had concerns about moving forward.
Okay.
But we're still going to have them essentially as a contingency plan in case we need staffing
Okay.
for them.
Okay.
So I am working with the warehouse to put out a new RFP for temp staffing services for them.
Okay,
oh.
go ahead, go ahead.
Commissioner Brown, I have pulled up the contracts. It's section 5.03 of the main contract document is on minimum wage.
Okay,
And it's, yes, it's in there.
and we're covered.
And I want to thank Commissioner Brown for noting my contribution to these meetings.
Small, but. All right, seconded by Commissioner Brown. Let me move on.
Properly, I think this motion has been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. I'm going to go back to our RFP bid award to Roth & Company LLP for financial auditing services. Carolina.
The Procurement Office is requesting your consideration for approval of a bid award in relation to the request for proposal audit services. The Procurement Office has received, reviewed, and recommends the award for the RFP audit services to Roth & Co. On May 12, 2025, the procurement issued a request for proposal for audit services. Unfortunately, we received one proposal. However, the vendor was disqualified because the bid was received after the published deadline. On June 9, 2025, the procurement reissued the RFP for audit services. The Procurement Office responded to inquiries received by June 12, 2025, and proposals from vendors were due on or before June 13, 2025. In response to the reissued RFP, the Procurement Office received one proposal from Roth & Co. The board previously performed an RFP for audit services and awarded the contract to Roth & Co. on August 31, 2021. The contract was then extended in relation to future audit services. Board staff were highly satisfied with their service and performance. The finance team specifically made operational changes based on their previous findings to strengthen our internal controls and financial recordings. Please consider granting the contract award for the request for proposal audit services to Roth & Co. in the dollar amount not to exceed $615,000. And this includes both a financial and single audit for fiscal years 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve a bid award for and to authorize the executive director to execute a contract with Roth & Company LLP for financial and single audits to be performed in relation to fiscal years 2020 through 2023 with compensation not to exceed $615,000 over the term of this agreement, which shall begin on July 8, 2025 and continue through July 7, 2026?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
And seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. The next item is an IFB bid award to Runbeck Election Services for printing and mailing services for the 2026 voter canvass and second notices.
The Procurement Office is requesting your consideration and approval of a bid award to Runbeck as a result of the recently issued invitation for bid voter canvass mailing and second notice for the March 2026 midterm primary election. The IFB was competitively bid. The award selection was based off comparative total cost meeting the lowest bidder's requirements. For consistency purposes, purchasing calculated the range of the estimated quantities for all the bidders based on the pricing they provided. In response to the IFB, the Procurement Office received a total of 9 proposals from the following vendors: Aztec Graphics Group, No Ink LLC, Envelope Connection, Runbeck, D4 Solutions, Sheely Group, Cardinal Color Group, Johnson & Quinn, and J.J. Collins. One vendor was disqualified because the first addendum was received after the cutoff time. The vendors provided pricing ranging from the lowest price of $70,217 to the highest of $324,000. After evaluating the bids, board personnel determined that Runbeck was the lowest bidder. Runbeck has demonstrated through their proposal the potential to perform the work, and historically, the board has been satisfied with their services and response time. Please consider granting the contract award for the invitation for bid, voter canvass and mailing, and second notice for the March 2026 midterm primary election to Runbeck in the amount not to exceed $70,217 for the full purchase price and implementation. In a cost-saving effort, the board intends to work with the vendor to utilize our nonprofit permit for the canvass mailing and the second notice.
Great. And Runbeck, what services do they provide us? Have they provided us?
So currently, we have rented the Agilis equipment from them, so we haven't actually had any printing services done. This will be the first time. But generally, they have good feedback with their printing services. I actually spoke to the Director of Elections. His name is Ray Valenzuela, and he oversees Maricopa County. And he's been working with Runbeck for about 30 years, and he's beyond satisfied with their services. He jokingly said that they were kind of the test dummies for a lot of the printing. So over the course of the years that they've worked together, they've had the opportunity to kind of smooth out any kinks in their processes, but he had nothing but great things to say with Runbeck. And from a personal standpoint, my communication with them has been exceptional. They have been very responsive, and they seem very enthusiastic to work with us as well.
Okay. Well, I think it's worth giving them a try on various levels. So, thank you, Carolina, for doing that analysis and reaching out to other election authorities to find out what their experiences have been.
Very good.
Is there a motion to approve a bid award for and to authorize the executive director to execute a contract with Runbeck Election Services, Inc. for printing and mailing services for the 2026 canvass and second notice mailings with a price not to exceed $70,217 and with a durational term commencing on July 8th, 2025 and continuing through July 7th, 2026?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Next, and so thank you,
Thank you.
Carolina.
Hopefully
You
that
can
wasn't
take
too
a break now.
Thank you very much.
We
Give her an
appreciate-
oxygen tank and some Gatorade.
Yeah, we appreciate everything you've done, all the research, all the analysis, and the presentation.
Yes.
It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we will go to address the board's 2026 election calendar. Mr. Lasker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, I sent you a draft, finalized draft last week, and then the next day, the State Board of Elections came out with theirs. So that has given me an opportunity to cross-check our data versus their data. And I did send you yesterday the updated version with the signature requirements calculated by the State Board. As of yesterday afternoon, County Clerk still hasn't done it for the county offices, but federal and state offices now, we've got signature requirements from the State Board of Elections. We did identify a discrepancy. Well, one thing that's important is we are very much on the same page about our local school board elections.
Oh, good.
Circulation period, filing period, we're on the same page. There was a discrepancy in the state board's guide about half of the school board districts are up for a 4-year term for election, and the other half are up for a 2-year term. The state board's guide had the correct grouping, but they had inversed the 2 years or 4 years. I had Rick Thurman, who helped me with that process for us, double-check everything, and he came to my office Monday morning, and we went through it all over again, and we're very certain that we're correct. So I've reached out to the state board, and they'll be correcting that.
Okay.
But otherwise, we're looking good. For an election calendar, the first day in the calendar is this coming August 5th. That's when the circulation period begins for the partisan candidates seeking nomination in the March 17th primary. The school board candidates and any other independent candidates and nonpartisan candidates and new political party candidates circulate next summer,
Okay.
next spring and summer. So that's, when you do approve this, you know that Mr. Bever is chomping at the bit to get that information out there, so we'll have it posted to the website this, I was about to say this afternoon, he'll probably do it this morning, and then we'll get a bunch of copies printed for our front desks at the 6th and 8th floors.
Great. Great. Any questions? Well, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it, and for the care you took in drafting and making sure everything was correct. And thank you, Max, in advance for being so good and prompt in getting everything out.
They're off to the races very soon.
4 weeks from today.
Motion, is there a motion to adopt and publish the 2026 election calendar as prepared by the General Counsel?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
And seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
And Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next item is resolution authorizing the disposal of materials from the 2022 primary and general elections. Mr. Lasker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. State and federal laws require us to maintain election documents and materials for 22 months after federal elections. That preservation period has passed for both the 2022 primary election and the 2022 general election. So as a standard course of business, we're requesting the resolution to dispose of those records in accordance with the Illinois Local Records Act.
Thank you. And just to note that we do this routinely?
Yes, every election, every
And
22 months.
Every
after,
22 months, we do this. So at this time, is there a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the disposal of materials from the 2022 primary and general elections in accordance with the Illinois Local Records Act?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Brown.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Motion passes. Next is a legal report from Mr. Lasker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today, we handle a lot of business, so my legal report starts with a big thank you to Carolina Roman, who's really stepped into her new position as a procurement officer extremely well, and I'm very pleased. It's been a pleasure working with her on all these procurements. Also, a special thank you to Rick Thurman, because he did assist with particularly the school board matters, but some other things related to the election calendar. And now, believe it or not, it's time to start looking forward to upcoming electoral board hearings. So I'm going to start working on meetings with Jong Lee from SKU Corporation. We heard his name today. He assists with our case. He's developed our case management software for that. We're going to get those things up and running, reaching out to hearing officers. The three of you, please let me know if you have anyone you'd like to add to the list, but we do have, as you know, a very good list that we grew a few years ago, and they've been doing a good job with both our longtime and our newer hearing officers. And that is the legal report for today.
Okay. Any questions? If not, we will proceed with the financial reports. We have a balance sheet and voucher listing for the City of Chicago, a 2025 appropriation number 25-04, dated July 8th, 2025, in the amount of $556,170.62. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. Next item is a balance sheet and voucher listing for the County of Cook, a 2025 appropriation, number 25-04, dated July 8th. Okay.
So,
Is there a motion to adjourn?
so moved by Commissioner Brown.
Seconded by Commissioner Cressy.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Brown votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes and we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Have a great rest of the week.